snap, it's crackle, what a happy sound. You gotta have the happiest sound I found. You can snap, and stereo slap, but snap, crackle, makes the world go round.
Hello, guys. I'm back with another video. And today on the workbench, we have our old friend, the Xboxonex. And today I have some extra incentive and some real power at home, get her done enthusiasm. Look at this bad boy. Can we fix it? Nope. It's fucked. I wonder if they just put that on there just for me. Maybe. I don't know. That's funny. That is a funny thing. So, what's going on with this guy is, seems to be powering on normally. The HDMI input does recognize something when I'm initialized or whatever when I power it on, because it does like lock, but it doesn't do anything. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking this one's got a faulty retimer in it, but we'll see. I'm gonna just do a quick diode check on it and see if that turns up anything obvious. Okay, so according to the main readings, that's totally, well, it's within tolerable range, so nothing appears to be wrong there. So, yeah, I am going to say, just based on what I've seen, everything appears to be normal there, but it's definitely not reading. Now the thing is one thing I am noticing right away here, in case you guys haven't noticed, that's not the right screw, or it's backed out, one of the two. So yeah, this thing's been open. Okay, there's our board. Paste is pretty much toast. Okay, let's get under the microscope here. Let's just have a good look at this board before we get too carried away with things here. Let's switch us over. So I'm just gonna have a quick look around the board here. That may be our problem. We are likely going to change that chip. Here's our HDMI ports. They look good. Suppose I could push on them just to double check, but it's wrong, and those readings were good. Factory solid. Factory. Everything looks good there. 2440. We're bringing the airspeed down. 80%. That's good. Okay, let's get this off of here. Let's preheat the board first. Okay, that That one's off. That's good. Good for a new chip, and we will call it there. To you guys, it's going to be a blink of an eye. For me, it was a couple days. So, where we left off with this bad boy, this is the Xbox One X. I guess I don't have to explain it because it's going to be in the video. But yeah, we're getting no image out of this. I did do some testing and determined that we indeed have more than likely a fault with this chip. Interesting because I was getting normal readings out of it, but clearly it is not working. So I am going to be changing this to a new chip, which has finally come in. And I did, geez, careful now, I'm going to lose it. I did pre-tin all the back pins, so the only thing I really need to do is lay this baby down. It's all prepped up and ready to go. So I'm just going to give it some flux all around everywhere. I did take the leaded solder off, or sorry, the unleaded solder off and put leaded down on both sides, so we should be good. I'm going to hot air this bad boy on here. I have done this a few times, and generally speaking, it's fairly simple. But you do have to be careful with your heat and making sure that you have a good initial plant here. Kind of like that. So we're going to go with it right there like that. Might be a little bit too much flux, I guess we'll find out. I am going to do this one at probably 300, 400. This board is quite thick. It's not as bad as the One X, or sorry, the X, Series X, and the Series S, and the PlayStation 5. Those boards are freaking craziness. But I am going to knock the airflow right down. 20%, and we'll go for 440 degrees. Okay, come off the heat. Okay, that looks good. Just clean that up with the iron. There we are. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Mostly even. Definitely got it on all sides, so that's the main thing. And I did line it up properly, so that's good. So the last thing you need when you're doing this is to put it on backwards. It happens though, trust me, more often than we'll admit. Or sideways. It's slightly out of alignment. Oh well. Always happens when I press down on the chips. I get them perfect, and then I press down and they come out of alignment. It's okay though. It's fine. It's attached, and I am good to try that. Let's get the overhead back in here, guys. Hold on one second. Boomity boom boom. There we go. Okay, so we have one replaced TDP 158, which is the HDMI driver slash retimer slash whatever you want to call it. I like to call it the HDMI chip. We don't need to get so technical on these things. So next thing is I'm gonna go for this here because I'm almost certain this is all that's wrong with this console. So I'm gonna reassemble it, and I'm gonna change the thermal paste, and I'm gonna get it ready to fire up here. So I want to minimize the amount of times I take this thing apart. So I'm really hoping I got it here. I can't see any reason why I don't have it, but you know, you never know, right? Now, one way we can confirm that we have at least proper connection to the chip is by using the breakout board and our diode check. So I'm going to do that real quick and see. I did have regular values when we tried it the first time, but we didn't have any image. So let's just give it another go here, and we'll see what kind of values we get out of this thing. Hopefully they haven't changed. They may be a little different, but they should be relatively close as long as I get them all. I think we're relatively safe here. So red probe on, oh yeah, take your little tips off here. These are those super sharp tips. I think these are mechanic probes with the replaceable tips. I really like these leads. They're not only silicone leads, but they're also super sharp. So you can get right on all of the chips. So let's see what we got going on. Okay, and power cord. Hopefully we have some success here today. And this thing works. That would be great. Switch over the input. HDMI 2 on my monitor. And yeah, the reason you guys don't see me doing capture card is because I don't know if you've noticed people trying to do capture cards with consoles. Yeah, you got to get around this little security device that creates a bunch of problems. Apparently it's some sort of copyright thing. I can't remember what it's called, but I do have this, which is supposed to make it work. So one day we'll do it properly, but until then I'll keep doing it incorrectly. Alright, do we have juice? Yes. Fan spin. Do we have monitor lock? Well, that's not good. Monitor locks, but doesn't ever come out of this. So I wonder if we have a hard drive issue. I'm back, guys, and I've been spending a little bit of time off camera doing some extra kind of just troubleshooting to try and figure out why I've still got a black screen. Now, I did try reflowing the chip, made sure it was down. It was already down pretty good. But I went just one more step and just did it all over again. Same chip that I used to replace with, and put it back together. And it still was kind of giving me a similar problem where like it appears like it's on, but there's just no picture. So I decided to try the resolution reset, whereby you hold the disk drive button and the power button together for about 10 seconds. And what that does is it automatically resets the resolution back to a default 640 by 480. Now, the monitor that I'm plugged into is a 4K monitor, so like it doesn't matter which resolution these consoles put out. Generally speaking, my monitor will pick it up and display. There's been very few times where that's actually the case. The only time it happened before where it worked on another device and not on the monitor was that PlayStation 5 that I had that weird 5-volt issue with. For whatever reason, it would work on 4K, but as soon as you tried to bring it into a native 1080 situation, it would just it wouldn't work. So generally speaking, the monitor will pick up any resolution. It doesn't matter what they're set to usually when I get them from people, right? If they have it set to 4K, if they have it set to 1080, it really doesn't matter. So I didn't want to give up on this thing because I was kind of like I've done the retimer, I've looked around, everything's metering good. I checked for 5 volts on the port, obviously, after I had some power to it. Went through all the pins looked good. I was getting good diode values back. So that was kind of the last ditch effort, was to go ahead and try and just do a reset of the resolution by doing that force with those 2 buttons. We get picture. So there it is. Now, I did have to go into the settings. I had to set it from 640 to 1080 just to see if it would go. Now, the only thing I haven't done yet is I haven't tried the 4K. Of course, the Xboxonex is capable of 4K, so let's go ahead and see if it'll do it. It did come up with the 1080 no problem, so let's just bypass 1440 and go straight up to 4K. Let's see what happens here. So it's giving me a no HDMI 2, which is interesting. Okay, let me close that. I want to try 1440 then. So this is definitely having some sort of an issue with the higher resolution above 1080, which is a bit concerning. I do know of a chip that can cause that exact problem, and it's not the retimer. That usually comes down to that ESD booster, or the little glass IC. Now, that creates a problem because I've got a couple different things going on here, and because it's an Xboxonex, for me to replace that IC plus the retimer, plus the labor, I'm getting into territory where you can pick up one of these things used. So I'm going to get in touch with the customer and just explain the situation to them. Just, letting them know that, if we want to do the ESD booster, it's going to be X amount more. And we do have some authorization to go ahead and try and get the 4K working. Because of really the supply of the ESD filter boosters, I actually can't get my hands on them. at the moment. So, I was thinking about reaching out to Uber Micro and getting a couple of his bypass kits that he offers now, but that's not going to help us for this one. It's kind of weird because those boosters were quite available not very long ago, and now they seem to have completely disappeared off of AliExpress, so I don't know where they've gone, but I do know we need to get 4K working on this thing, so the best option for us at this point, honestly, is to do an ESD bypass on it. Not my first choice, but I have done them before on the Xboxonex. They seem to last and be fine. I know there's a lot of kind of controversy over doing an ESD bypass, but I want to get this console back to the customer, and I've already had it for quite a long time because I keep running into different problems with this thing, and this is just the latest one. Now it's kind of weird because if you look at the ESD, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it. Now I did try to reflow it just in case I might have partially flowed it when I was working on the Retimer chip, but I don't think that happened either. So, yeah. Okay. Moment of truth. Whoop. Come on, baby.
Okay, after a ton of struggling and a bunch of screwing around, I finally figured out what was going on with this thing. There's actually nothing wrong with it. So, something was going on with the monitor. I actually had to reset my monitor, which fixed everything. So now if we go into settings and we go into TV, now we can select 4K. And it works. I can keep the resolution if I like. Just keep it just so you can see. So yeah, anyways, really weird problem with the monitor. I've never experienced that before where it just won't pick up 4K for whatever reason. But what I ended up doing was plugging in a PlayStation 4 that is a Pro. PlayStation 4 Pro, and it worked perfectly fine last time I had it plugged in, but this time it didn't work fine when I plugged it in. It did the same thing as this bad boy. It knows it's there, but it will not connect to it. So reboot is what did it on the monitor, if you can actually believe that. I'm still completely perplexed that was even possible, but yeah, bottom line is everything's working on this console, and so I put it all back together. So that sticker, can we fix it? Yes, we fucking can.